seems like they're everywhere you turn. Every single day they invade the headlines. Another half-wit criminal with a half-baked scheme. Another social media simpleton going viral. Another Florida man stretching the bounds of stupidity. Or another pack of SJWs throwing a temper tantrum. And that's not even the worst of it. From the empty talking heads on the cable news channels, to the humorless hacks in Hollywood, to the pea-brained politicians pulling the puppet strings, everywhere you look, there's another idiot telling you how to live your life.
Like, people should be able to, like, eat what they want, do what they want.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's not like he's going out there in his campaign ads like, Joe Biden is a reptile man.
He keeps the streets of Gotham City much safer than Commissioner Gordon, but he doesn't wear a badge because Batman doesn't have to follow any rules.
You know, all the kids started ganging up on him and calling him a little googly-eyed, pitchy-pants jelly boy.
Oh, I say the N-word all the time now. You know, I just go out on the strip and I scream it.
You say a succubbitch?
Whoa, Reverend!
A succubus? You don't know what a succubus is. You mean like you're talking like Cardi? Like Cardi B? I heard she got that wop.
Well, Jay and Anisa have had enough. Armed with clever satire, madcap humor, and the craziest cast of characters in podcasting, they're lining up and taking aim at the world of stupidity every single week. Because it is time to go to war. The War on Morons.
It is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020, and this is episode 59 of The War on Morons. I'm Jay.
And I'm Anisa, and this is the only show online where we speak truth to stupidity every single week.
Yep, America, the battle lines have been drawn. Court might not be in session for the moron left, at least not just yet, but dumbassery is always on the docket here at WOM, and, well, based on the way this past week's gone, we better start working on our Civil War humor.
I mean, come on, there's nothing more hilarious than that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I gotta say, I can't wait till fucking Atlanta invades next week so we can have some new material for the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, you don't think that would be funny?
No. But I mean, I'm also not extremely concerned about it. I mean, those people can't drive, so how would they get here?
I mean, Florida man versus Georgia man. I think that'd be a great round one. I mean,
it'll all just, the interstates will be tied up for months. Like, there'll be nobody going through.
God, it would look like that fucking Mad Max movie from a couple of years ago, except for way more grills and... I mean, speaking of Atlanta, and Civil War humor, I just want to say Sherman was right about Georgia. Set that place on fire again, for one.
Harsh?
Well, I mean, we went there. We went through there a couple weeks ago. And
Savannah was charming.
Savannah might have been charming. What was that other town? Augusta was fine.
Yeah.
Georgia Guidestone's creepy, but okay. But Atlanta, what the fuck is with Atlanta?
We're giving the Georgia Guidestones a pass,
well, I mean, it's interesting, and I mean, it's coming to play. But
oh, right.
But I mean, Atlanta. I mean, I can see why they picked that town to stage all the Oderve Odd Fray last month.
I mean, I gotta say, you have a point there. I mean, you're so busy trying not to get run over by traffic that you would never notice somebody pulling suitcases full of ballots out of a van in the middle of the night.
You're too busy ducking bullets.
Jeez.
And, if you're so busy, if you're looking for people in a red state who aren't smart enough to catch on to a massive scheme, I'm just saying.
Okay, you know what?
You can't find
Stop it. Before you alienate, I mean, it might be too late, an entire state full of our listeners, or just get us kicked off of YouTube for good. I mean, you really can't be talking about that which shall not be mentioned.
Yeah, you mean the fact that there's no way in hell that good old...
okay, you know what? Let's just skip past that.
I used Pig Latin. I said Oderve Godfrey. So you really think that like Susan Wojcicki's people can translate that?
You know, before they pull the plug, let's remember, first and foremost, the best place to find our show every single week is on Tuesdays at hameenmediagroup.podbean.com. Make sure you guys subscribe there for the RSS feed.
Yes, you can find great content at Hameen Media Group because we don't care about this censorship and this other nonsense. You can find conspiracy talk. You can find pop culture talk. You can find wrestling. You can find comedy. You can find politics. Subscribe to Hameen Media Group. It's the best platform out there, if you ask me. And don't forget to check out our social media.
Yeah.
Especially this week. We've got our year-end polls going on for the 2020 Moron of the Year award running. There's so many morons this year that we couldn't run just one single poll like we did last year.
Had to do a bracket.
Yeah, so first round, Andrew Cuomo won that group in a landslide. Nancy Pelosi, she pulled out group 2. It was pretty close. She beat Hunter Biden and,
shocking,
and a couple other people. But who's going to take the third spot? Who's going to take group 3? It's up to you.
And finally, if you want to be a part of the show itself, make sure you dial us up on our call-in line at 813-906-9099. And now let's do it. Let's get into this week's top morons.
Let's do it. So let's start off with this one. So there's a ho-ho-ho in the House. The House of Representatives, that is.
Yikes.
So, of course, we're talking about disgraced California Representative Eric Swalwell. Who else? Who, until last week, was best known for ripping a televised fart on cable news and for spreading the Russian collusion hoax for the past few years to anybody who's listened. But it turns out that the whole time he's been doing all that, he was holding a secret of his own, because he spent half a dozen years banging a Chinese communist spy named Fang Fang. Like, during pretty much the entire Obama administration.
You know what? Allegedly. You have to say allegedly. Jimmy James, talk to us about this.
Okay, do you really think that Eric Swalwell has time to listen to our show? And he's going to
I'm just saying, we get free legal advice from Jimmy James, and we can't afford to pay him, so...
Okay, so he was allegedly banging a Chinese operative for 6 years.
Did you say her name was Fang Fang, by the way?
Yes.
Like, that sounds like a character from, like, Scooby-Doo back before everything was super PC. Like, that can't be real.
Right. It sounds like one of those, like, you know when you're watching, like, Disney Plus and they put a disclaimer before the cartoon?
Yeah.
And they're like when you're not, okay, this is going to be one of the good cartoons.
How much Disney cartoons are you watching these days?
Oh, I only watch the good ones, you know? Like, I think that's Fu Manchu's daughter's name.
Oh, my God.
But no, Fang Fang is a real person, allegedly. It's, there's that word again.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but apparently it's some Chinese honey trap, or honey pot, whatever they call them. She came to America in 2011 as a college student, and it says in the article that she spent the next 4 years sleeping her way up the ladder. She was banging Midwestern mayors. She was banging local politicians. At one point, she got caught by the FBI banging some mayors from some small town in Ohio in his car.
Oh!
She all the way up to this married congressman in California. Of course he's a Democrat. They're all Democrats. Who is somehow still sitting on the House Intelligence Committee. And this guy has the audacity. He's still out there on Twitter, and he's, like, commenting on... Like, every day, he's just, like, he's ripping on Donald Trump every day.
Remember when politicians had shame? Wasn't that a lovely time?
Remember when people had shame?
Yeah, you know, if I didn't know any better, hearing this whole story, I almost think we should be suspicious of China or something.
Oh, no, that's ridiculous. We love China. We love China. we love being on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, because we make so much money from it. All right, anyway, besides the point, but did you hear the news about the highest paid government employee in the state of California?
You know, that's oddly, and it almost seems like a setup.
Well, that's because it is, but, way to play along with the bit there. Thanks a lot.
All right, well, sorry, was I supposed to, guess?
I'll give you a hint. Look, is it A, Gavin Newsom, B, Kamala Harris, C, Nancy Pelosi, or D, a Chinese spy?
I feel like it's kind of like a trick question, because if I pick D, that's the same as all of the above. So
you have a point. And all sarcasm aside, if you did pick D, you would be correct, because last year California taxpayers shelled out more than $1.7 million to a man named Meng Yu, who serves as the deputy CIO for a state-controlled Chinese espionage program against the United States.
So he's basically a Chinese spy.
He's exactly a Chinese spy, yeah.
And he's the highest paid government employee in the state of California.
Yep.
Which, last I heard, is something like $50, $60 billion in debt.
You would think that election ads would have gotten much more spicy with all this going on, but
I know that we joke about it all the time, but they literally can't even clean the shit off of their streets. Their entire tax base is fleeing. They're California's moving to Texas. Everybody that has any kind of productive ability is leaving the state. And they're giving $2 million a year to some Chinese spy. And people are, cool with it?
I just gotta say, while the, smart people in California are leaving in exodus, it's kind of funny how, the Chinese are coming to America en masse to get rich.
Right.
Whatever happened to, famines and breadlines? They're posers. They're shitty communists.
Yeah, I thought this was supposed to be like the proletariat, man.
Right.
Fucking worst communists ever.
Seriously.
Yeah, they seem like
the Russians learned to live. The Russians learned to live off of knockoff products and crappy selection and potatoes.
Cheese.
Yeah, they learned to live like that for years.
Yeah, and then the Chinese fly over here and they live like tech billionaires.
Jesus.
Good for them, I guess. You know what? Good for them.
Good for them. Bad for us.
Bad for California. I don't live in California. I don't pay their salaries. Anyway, speaking of American Soviet tactics, the state of Vermont decided to interrogate school children returning from the holiday break to find out whether or not their families dared to, of course, whether they dared to gather for Thanksgiving.
This sounds like the scariest breakout room on Zoom ever.
I feel like we've covered this story over and over and over, but this is just freakish because they're doing it with children. So, with coronavirus cases, again, cases, not deaths, coronavirus cases in Vermont at a staggering 28 per day.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, 28 people in the entire state are getting in the fucking cold, including 5 people in the ICU.
I'm shaking in my boots.
The state found it necessary to cross-examine little kids like common criminals to find out whether or not they went to Grandma's house for Turkey Day.
I literally... First of all, I don't know. It's been 9 months of this shit, and I'm out of jokes. All I can say is, what the hell was the plan if they found out that they did gather for Thanksgiving? It's not like you can arrest them for that. It's not a crime.
They basically did. Yeah, it's a crime in Vermont, and more on that in a minute. But so what if the kids broke under pressure? I'm just picturing them like that trope where. They've got you in the darkened room with, the light bulb hanging down. And they're like, all right, tell us, what did you do? What'd you do on Thursday? Did you go to Grandma's house? Were any aunts and uncles over there? Did you have a turkey? How big was that turkey? How many people had a bite? If any of these kids broke, they got put in an extended quarantine. So
very nice.
Yeah, so... But you're right, 9 months of this, to the day, because it's the 15th today, right?
It is.
If I remember correctly, all of this stuff started around March 15th, because I remember it was the Ides of March. So, yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I mean, there's literally people born today who weren't even conceived when this shit started.
That's crazy.
And there's no end in sight. They're going to keep doing this because you guys are allowing them to keep doing this. So, I'm just saying, I mean...
Well, I don't think our listeners are allowing that. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are allowing this. But people out there, Vermont people and California people and people like that, like, Jesus Christ, there's 5 people in the hospital.
Look. Before you get way too preachy, let's give Vermont some credit. I mean, it's not like they aren't making some progress towards freedom.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
You kind of jumping the gun there. I mean, recently, Governor Phil Scott relaxed his statewide ban on outdoor walking.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he decreed that up to 2 people from separate households may now meet for outdoor physical activities as long as they wear masks and maintain social distancing.
So you can go for a walk with your neighbor.
Correct.
But if I'm hearing this correctly, but only if there's just one of them.
Right.
And if you're at least 6 feet away from him.
Correct.
So, and I say this with all due respect, but what in the chicken fried fuck is this?
I mean, I'm just picturing how much of a dystopian shithole it must be to live in Vermont right now. Like, you and I go for walks pretty much every day. We hold hands, and we walk around the neighborhood, and I just imagine the police in Vermont would see us and, like, pull up and be like, show us your papers. Like, are you 2 from separate households? Where are your masks? Why aren't you social distancing? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be too careful.
Yeah, I mean, truly, I really think, we have to consider all the facts. I mean, Vermont has a 1% positivity rate.
I wonder if they have to wear masks, too. They probably do. Yeah. They probably have to wear the mask. I mean, and it's funny because we're here in Florida, and like you can go to a football game, like there's like, I mean, you can't go to full capacity, but you can go to a football game with like 20,000, 30,000 people at the stadium. You can go out in public. You can go to the grocery store. You can go to an event. You can pretty much live a normal life.
You can go to the bar.
You can go to the bar. You can go to. I mean, you can do pretty much anything that you can normally do. You just got to wear the stupid mask.
Yeah.
But in some of these states, like they act like we're in the middle of some kind of a plague. And I'm telling you, from a place that's been living pretty much a normal life since May, we're not. Like nobody, like it's not happening. Like, I mean, you can call out. It's really easy to call out sick from work.
Oh yeah, that's a big perk, right?
Like I mean, that if you want to have a few days off paid, like you can do that. And I mean, sure. I mean, there are some people that are getting ill, but I mean, it's not happening like they say on on the fake news.
Once they stopped putting those ventilators in people, people stopped dying. Isn't that weird?
What do you know? I bet that'll change once they start plunging the needles, but we'll see. Anyway, we're supposed to be making jokes. I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of went off on a tangent there.
Yeah, so let's go back to Vermont. One more thing about Vermont. You know what, Vermont, you have lost your American privileges. So go back to the ethically sourced ice cream milk or whatever the fuck you do up there.
Yeah, produce some goddamn maple syrup and leave us alone.
Yeah, either that or just go eat a bowl of Ben & Jerry's and go fuck yourselves. If the governor says it's okay, I don't know if.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe if you wear a mask.
I think you have to make sure you maintain social distancing from the maple trees before you tap them.
Yeah, maybe going and fucking yourself is the one thing you are allowed to do in Vermont. Anyway, speaking of blue state bozos, did you see the video of that school teacher in Oregon the other day?
Oregon. Okay, was she Antifa or something? I mean, was she transgender? I mean,
probably on both counts. but it's not in the story.
Okay.
It was just that she was literally just freaking out at some anti-lockdown protesters. It was in Bend.
Oh, you know what? I did see that. She was like in her car and
Yes.
she was like, yeah, oh my God. I didn't know it was in Oregon. I just saw the video, but she was like freaking out, dude.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I've never seen somebody have an aneurysm while driving successfully, but she pulled it off.
Yeah, she's in case you haven't, for the viewers and listeners out there, if you haven't seen it, find it. Like, just Google, like, school teacher, Bend, Oregon, freak out,
Protesters.
lunatic. So she's hanging out of the car. She's flipping everybody off. She's telling them to go kill themselves.
Nice.
The whole time she's screaming at them, "I'm a school teacher! I'm a fucking school teacher! Fuck you! Kill yourself! Don't you understand? I teach your children!" They're like,
I'd pull my kids out of school immediately.
I mean, peace, love, and understanding, man.
I mean, come on. This is the same woman who's killing the earth with her car and its fossil fuels. I mean, you gotta look in the mirror, lady. Like, I could just as easily get mad at you for killing the, dolphins or whatever the fuck.
I think that's what I would do in that situation. I would turn it around.
Yeah, right?
That's the next, like...
Escalate it.
Escalate the situation. Like, you know that joke that they say about, like, the conspiracy theorists? Like, if somebody's, like, if somebody's...
Oh, you believe in the moon? Like,
yeah. Like, oh, you don't think they landed on the moon? Oh, you're one of those people that believes in the moon?
Yeah.
Escalate on these crazy, like, liberals.
Right.
So, like, if somebody's out there and they get mad at you for not wearing a mask, then there you go.
There you go. You just get mad at them for, like, the CO2 production that their fart just created. I don't know, like something. You gotta pull something out. Anyway.
What are you doing? You're 30 years old? You've been breathing air for how long? You selfish bitch. Why haven't you killed yourself?
Okay. Anyway, I guess this is as good a time as any to address the elephant in the room. So late last week, YouTube did actually announce that they will be basically renouncing any content questioning the validity of the 2020 election results.
Bye, guys. It was nice knowing you.
It was so nice knowing you.
Oh, man. No, because, like, if I'm trying to convince people that I'm not the propaganda arm for some totalitarian banana republic, like, my go-to move is mass censorship of all dissent.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what a platform does in a free country.
Now, to be fair, I mean, I am going to give them some credit, because at least if they take the video down, it won't be a shadow ban for one.
Right,
so,
it'll just be an outright ban.
Right, exactly. We're going from, like, putting censorship labels on books to, like, actually burning them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we haven't spoken on it directly in this episode, so, I mean, we might as well... we might as well get into it, though. I mean, I've got the proof. I've got it from me.
Oh, jeez.
We're actually getting a call on line 1, so.
All right. Looks like a 202 number. All right, I guess I'll pick that one up. Hello, caller. You're on with the War on Morons. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
You people don't have a lot of brains, do you?
Beg to differ? Why would you call us up and say that?
Well, first off, I mean, we couldn't be more clear. Or it couldn't have been made more clear that you're not supposed to breach a certain subject matter. And yet, I've been monitoring this program today for, about 23 minutes. And you have broached that subject matter 3 times already.
Look, if you're some kind of content moderator from YouTube, you can just take the video down. I mean, we're on other platforms, so I don't really know.
No. I'm not trying to say anything about that. I'm just trying to say, if you're not trying to get in trouble here, if you're not trying to have anything bad happen, you're doing a real, let's just say you're doing a real bad job at it. I mean,
what's the worst thing that could happen from talking about the things? I mean, it's not like we're saying anything crazy. We're just saying
the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing that could happen. I mean, for one, you're speaking pretty seditiously. I mean, you seem to have a lot of problems with the president-elect. You have a lot of problems with Mr. Biden. I mean, are you planning something there?
God, no. We're just using our freedom of speech to say what we think.
Freedom of speech. It seems that people like you always lean on that trope, freedom freedom of speech. I don't think you understand
like the First Amendment. Like, I don't know why that's such a shocking thing.
Scumbags like you always want to talk about the First Amendment this, the Second Amendment that. Listen, you are to follow orders. You're to follow directives. You're not to run your mouth. You're not to. Look, that's besides the point. I got some questions to ask you for one.
Oh, really?
Because I'm
having trouble understanding why the hell you're even listening to our show. You don't sound like a fan.
Look, I'm just doing my job here, and I've been monitoring your program for a while now.
Really?
You know, I've been listening tonight, and I can tell you it's a chore. It's not something I do for pleasure.
Right.
But I've been monitoring your program for a number of weeks now, and you attract some really, really questionable characters.
Well, that's true.
What's up with that? I mean, what's the story?
Jeez, I mean, honestly, if I could tell you, I would. I have no idea what's up with that.
Really? So you have no idea why everybody you talk to seems to be some kind of miscreant, some kind of antisocial, one could even say some kind of sociopathic, I'll even say it, some kind of psychopath.
I mean, I would love to get some normal people calling in, but they just don't seem to. I don't get it.
Sure. Well,
I got a question for you, though.
Well, what's that?
What agency are you with? If you're not with YouTube, Who are you with?
I'm just asking some questions, ma'am. And I've got to say, I really think that it would be important for you to watch what you say and watch who you associate with, because you're kind of crossing some lines lately.
Okay, well, I'll follow the law, but the law says that we're, able to say what we want, so that's what we're doing.
The law can be fluid, and
Not really.
I think I think you might be in for a bit of a surprise.
Really? How so?
Well, look, I mean, you seem like nice people. You seem like unsavory people, but you seem like nice people.
How can
and I really think
it
it'd be a shame. It would be a really, really shameful thing if something bad was to happen to you. And I don't want to see that happen.
Very nice. Calling us up, interrogating us, and threatening us. Awesome.
Hey, nobody's making any threats.
Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Don't bother calling again.
Yeah? Well, we'll be seeing you.
What the fuck? Like, I'm starting to think we might be in trouble, and not just with YouTube.
I mean, look, it sounds like, look, if it was the government or something, they would have to identify themselves, right?
I mean, if Alex Jones can do what he does, we can do this, right?
Right. Yeah, you saw him on Saturday. He's not in jail.
Yeah.
We're not in D.C. trying to storm into the Supreme Court.
No, we're certainly not.
We don't even own a bullhorn. So,
right.
Yeah, we're good. We're safe.
Yeah,
doors are locked, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I'm gonna make sure though. Let's play a commercial.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello, America! I've got a question for you out there in Radio Land. Do you like the troops? Do you love them even? And do you love your country? Do you love America? What about pizza pie? Would you eat a delicious slice of pizza for a troop to help America? Well, hey, guess what? This Christmas season is your lucky time of year because introducing just for you and just for the troops, it's Max Semper Pie Pizza Pies. That's right, brought to you by me, Mac, the creator and the proprietor of such trusted establishments as Max Impossible Chili and Max Diner Trow. So you can trust me, and you can know it's good, because nothing says Christmas and nothing says the troops like a slice of pizza pie. So come on down and support the troops, and make sure to bring some extra money, because we bring some extra coin, because we got a coin jar for the jawheads. So don't be a cheapskate, you cheap bastard. What, I'm out of time? All right, come on down. 51st and Post, right by the Dildo Emporium. You know the spot. See you there.
Did he just say his pizza place is next to a dildo emporium? Man, nothing whets my appetite like dildos.
I mean, you gotta be able to find it. I mean, maybe it's...
There's no other landmark. There's no other intersection. There's no other way to find the pizza place. What the hell kind of dildo emporium is this?
I've gotta say that... I'm pretty sure that it sounds like some kind of scam, to be honest.
It's always a scam with him.
I mean, I don't think that he's actually affiliated with the Marines or the troops in any way.
Can you imagine him, like, being a Marine?
God, no.
Seems very odd. Anyways,
but he paid us $100. That's all I asked.
You and your $100. All right. Look, after that call-in, after that commercial, I mean, it sounds like we better watch out, because it sounds like we're on the naughty list.
He might be. I don't.
And Santa's playing hardball this year. Case in point, a woman took her son to visit a mall Santa in Norwich, Illinois. Now, when the young boy told Santa Claus that he'd like a Nerf gun for Christmas, just a normal toy, the bootleg Santa took it upon himself to ruin the kid's day by stating that under no circumstances would Santa be bringing him his Christmas wish.
Hey, I mean, it's not like the kid was asking for, a unicorn,
Right, I mean...
I'm pretty sure most parents or Santas can swing for a frickin' Nerf gun.
Right, yeah, I mean, that would be a... if the kid had asked for a unicorn or something, I could see maybe like a more clever way to say no, but you'd kind of have to say no. But, I mean, if you're an undercover SJW Santa, that's where this is going. See, apparently, this horrible person masquerading as Santa Claus thought it was an appropriate time to take a hard stance on guns. Yep, even Nerf guns. Yep. The poor young boy burst into tears. I mean, this guy ruined this kid's Christmas. Like, this kid might have still believed in Santa Claus, and after this, he's going to be like, fuck Santa Claus.
Well, I mean, at some point you gotta learn.
Come on, not like this. This is cruel. I mean, I luckily, though, there is some sweet justice in this story. As a result of the ridiculous outburst, the woke Santa has now found himself alongside the rest of the woke liberal crowd on unemployment.
Yeah, I heard that somebody, they hired a new Santa, and they went and they delivered a Nerf gun or something to the actual, to the kid's house.
I mean, it's a little late for that, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's gotta be confusing to the kid, too.
Yeah!
Like, oh, hey, yeah, we got rid of the other Santa. He was an imposter. He was a commie Santa. We fired his ass. I'm the new Santa. Could you imagine if they just swung to the other way? Like, if it was just like, oh, I'm far right Santa. I'm Second Amendment Santa. Here's a new Beretta. Go learn to use this, kid. You're gonna need it in a couple weeks.
If I was the mother of that child, I honestly would have sued. Like, that's irreparable damage. Like, you can't get that shit back. Once you ruin Christmas for a kid, it's over. It's over.
To be fair, there's a lot worse things that could happen when, a kid's sitting on your lap. I mean, this day and age...
Okay, you know what? Do you have another story in the stack? We're not going there.
I'm just saying, in this day and age, it could have been a lot worse than the guy just saying no to the Nerf gun.
Next story.
All right, next story. Remember 10 years ago when Christian conservatives, like good old Bill O'Reilly, started claiming that there was a war on Christmas because people were insisting Happy Holidays was politically correct?
I do remember that. Gosh, it feels like forever ago. And It's scary to say, but I mean, based on that last story, maybe we should have listened to him, because, yikes.
The last 10 years. But anyway, you have no idea, because one Minnesota resident received a letter in their mailbox accusing them of harming the marginalized residents of their neighborhood by, well, putting up Christmas lights.
What?
Yeah, these people literally put up one string of Christmas lights and a wreath. And they got a letter telling them off for their privilege.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the letter reads, and I'm just going to quote it, the idea of twinkling, colorful lights are a reminder of divisions that continue to run through our society, a reminder of systemic biases against our neighbors who don't celebrate Christmas or who can't afford to put up lights of their own.
Okay, you know what? I've heard enough. I'll just say it. Whoever wrote this letter, fuck you, Grinch. What the hell? Why do you have to try to ruin Christmas for everybody? I'd be burning down houses in my neighborhood.
Hey, was that a slur against green furries, you bigot?
I stand behind what I said.
I think that their Grinches deserve to have their rights as well. Sorry, I was still reading the letter. I mean, let's just give them some credit, because we're talking about Minnesota. This year, speaking of burning down neighborhoods, I mean, that's kind of their go-to. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm at the point where, like, we should, the people on the right should start burning shit down. This is infuriating. They want to just...
Well, I'm just saying they're lucky that these people sent them a letter instead of burning their fucking house down, because that's normally what they do up there lately.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So, I mean, I know that these people are getting a little out of control with their wokeness or whatever, but
My God.
it could be worse.
Pretty soon, I mean, if you eat, a cheeseburger, they'll be saying, how dare you insult the other nationalities who don't eat cheeseburgers?
No, cheeseburgers are bad for the environment. And you remember? Like,
fuck.
You're supposed to eat worm burgers.
Oh, fuck.
Greta says, yeah.
What the hell else? What else are they going to take from us, honestly? And, I actually can't stand the hypocrisy of it. Like, I really can't. Because these are the same people that say we should respect everybody's differences, and, like, what about the people who can't afford to put up Christmas lights? Well, then they can look at mine. Like, that's why you put up Christmas lights, so your neighbors can enjoy them. They're not for you. You don't stand outside your house for 5 hours a day staring at them. I mean, if you can't afford to put up Christmas lights, maybe you like seeing mine. That's the whole point of it. It's nice. What do these people have against niceness?
Everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. While tasteful Christmas lights are not a hateful display, they're not. One sheriff's office probably could have used such a letter after putting up their Christmas tree.
Hold on, wait a minute. I thought you were just saying, fuck you to the people that wrote that letter.
Well, yeah, I mean, those people are trying to ruin Christmas for normal people, but there's plenty of morons who celebrate Christmas too, and we're not averse to calling them out. Now, for example, in Mobile, Alabama... Shocker. The sheriff's department posted a picture of their Christmas tree in the police department on Facebook. Now, the problem was, it was decorated with photographs of mugshots as part of a so-called Thug Thursday campaign. Festive!
I mean, it's kind of funny, to be honest.
I mean, we're just trying to get people to stop, like, killing the police. Like, we want people to, like, get behind the police. Like, it's pretty much... been proven it's a bad thing if the entire country thinks the police are evil, and yet here these guys are acting like evil police. Like, come on.
Maybe it's just misinterpreted. It sounded like they were trying to celebrate diversity. Like they're incorporating the community into their Christmas tree.
That's ridiculous. Please do not defend this. This was so stupid. Like, I mean, you don't have to have, like, a PR department to know that this was a bad move.
Really, it sounds like some Rito 911 shit.
It really does.
Anyway, if it seems like the latest left-wing delusion is that all Christmas displays are hate crimes, with Wisconsin's Democratic governor deciding not to put up a, quote, holiday tree.
Holiday tree? What the hell's a holiday tree?
You gotta ask him. Anyway, he decided not to put up a holiday tree in the state capitol at all this year. Because COVID, I guess.
COVID?
Well, they're all doing this. they're using COVID as an excuse to just cancel everything fun.
God, so pretty soon they're going to be taking your firstborn child because of COVID.
You know, that's an idea. Yeah. It's in the Bible. It's biblical. That's the next thing on the list.
Yikes.
But yeah, so the Wisconsin governor, he decided no Christmas or no holiday tree in Madison this year. And
holiday tree.
Well, the Republicans in Wisconsin, well, they decided to just not follow along with his order.
Good.
Yeah, so 2 Republican representatives from the state applied for a permit to put up the tree anyway, and they were denied.
Shocker.
So they said, screw it, and they put the tree up without a permit.
Nice.
Merry Christmas, America, and Merry Christmas, Wisconsin. Luckily, some of us are still, well, at least somewhat willing to stand up for our way of life.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, some of us are, but definitely not all of us. And that's really the problem. I mean, in Michigan, you could be in hot water for what you just said. Like, very hot water. With the Attorney General.
No. Well, they're impeaching Whitmer. So even in Michigan, they're standing up for liberty. So.
Oh, that's not the part that could get you subtweeted. No, not the whole, standing up for our way of life or anything like that. No, in Michigan, Merry Christmas could be enough to label you as a bigoted, hateful Nazi.
I mean, I wish I could be surprised at that, but I mean, we're talking about Michigan. I mean, pretty soon they're going to be South Canada. What are they doing? Like arresting people for saying Merry Christmas?
Not yet, but like I said, their Attorney General is actually the one on the warpath for Merry Christmas. I mean, this is just... I'm at the point in this show now where, like, we can report the headlines, but they just get so much more ridiculous every single week that pretty soon nothing's going to sound like a joke. The Attorney General tweeted saying that her son was devastated when someone wished him a Merry Christmas. Devastated. She then went on to say how glad she was that Joe Biden understands that they're not celebrating Christmas doesn't make them any less American than anyone else, which nobody said that, you crazy bitch. Like, they just said Merry Christmas. They didn't say Merry Christmas, foreign invaders.
So she's publicly announcing that she's raising the softest kid in America.
Yeah.
While tweeting, did she at him?
Yeah, of course she did.
Joe Biden.
Yep.
She knows that he loves soft children, right?
Wow, okay. You know what?
He could smell that kid through the fucking computer, I'm sure.
I bet he's going to make a trip out from the basement to go to a press conference.
Follow the nose, wherever it goes. He's going to be like wafting out of the basement like Toucan Sam all the way from Delaware just to molest that child.
Stop it. Okay, you know what? Thank God we're getting another call.
All right. I'll take this one. Why not? I'm on a roll. So area code 757. You're on the air. State your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, this is Mindy from Norfolk, and I was just giving a call. I'm a long-time listener, and you guys were just talking about Christmas and the holidays, and it's just me real excited. It's been a long year, and I'm here at the airport now. I'm actually going to go down south to visit some family, so I'm really excited for the holiday this year.
Yeah. You got that right. It sure has been a long year. I'm glad you thought about us. You say you're calling us from the airport?
Yeah. My flight got a little bit delayed, so I'm just sitting here waiting to board and listening to your show.
Cool. Well, where are you headed? Where are you going for Christmas?
Well, I'm headed down to Florida. My mom lives in a nice little retirement community down there. Well, I say nice, but it definitely has its flaws, that's for sure. But it'll be nice to see her.
Okay. I mean, I shudder to ask, given some of the things that we've heard on this show. But when you say it has its flaws, what are you referring to?
Well, the big one is, this year I wasn't able. My mom just moved into the retirement community in January before all this craziness happened, and I didn't realize it at the time. But it turns out we're not going to be able to bring a really important member of the family down to the celebration this year.
And who would that be?
Well, that would be my cat, Mr. Mittens. He's just the cutest little cat you ever did see. I love him. He's just my little boy. And unfortunately, my mom's new community doesn't allow cats. So I was pretty broken up when I heard that. I mean, he's part of the family. And so, he definitely wants to be a part. I had to give him his Christmas presents early, which is not the tradition, but I couldn't give it to him late. He's been waiting all year, so it's just it's a bit of a wrinkle, but we found a way to make it work. Normally he comes with me, of course, but this year I found some real good folks to take care of him. So
yeah, I mean you certainly don't. I mean you don't want your cat to go waiting late for their Christmas presents. That boy, tear the house up.
You got that right. I mean, Mr. Mittens, he's normally just such a well-behaved little gentleman, but I mean, you get between him and Santa Claus, I don't know. I just don't know. So, but I got this new app on my phone. Actually, I found these folks on an app. It's called Pawsome. And it's because they're awesome for your friends with paws. And they're going to come, they're going to, feed him and love up on him and, just spend some good time with him so that he feels like, he's got a friend while I'm away.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I mean, that's awesome that you got a solution. So it's like a pet sitting app?
It is, yeah, and they're pretty high tech, actually. They alert you up. Oh, speak of the devil! It looks like they just alerted me now. They are arriving for their first visit with Mr. Mittens, as it turns out. So, if you don't mind, actually, I'm just going to pull up my security cameras that I wired up so I can keep an eye on him, and just see how he's doing with them. I want to make sure he's
riveting radio.
You bet that's right. Absolutely. Mr. Mittens has a bit of a personality, if you know what I mean. So, you get to hear him. Can you hear him? I can see him on the screen now. Can you hear him? He's just meowing up a storm. He's saying hi.
Yeah, we can hear. So you're, maybe you're basically watching like a security camera in your house from the airport now.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not much of a security camera. It doesn't really focus on the doors or windows or nothing like that. It's mostly just focused on the areas where Mr. Mittens likes to hang out.
Cute kitty cat.
I know our audience is really loving this.
Let me see that.
Everybody,
see what it says.
if you want more of this, just comment down below in the chat. Let Mindy know how much you're appreciating.
See why they call you Mr.
Just really getting a look into the life of Mr. What did you say? What was his name again?
Mr. Mittens.
Mr. Mittens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you can hear.
You the
they are really
sexiest kitty cat
You can hear this gentleman here.
Dog.
He is loving Mr. Mittens. Everybody does. He is the cutest little boy.
Oh, wait, that's a guy. Oh, yeah, I can kind of hear him.
Do you like tuna fish, Mr.
Yeah.
Mittens?
He sounds like he's real
make you a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you some tuna fish.
Yeah, he's talking up a
see
storm
what's
there,
underneath that tail.
Yeah. I don't know, Mr. Mittens.
I just want a little bit of a sneak
kind of have his guard up a little bit.
I just want to
give
a
I'm
little
not around.
bit of a
Normally
preview.
I do there when guests arrive, so he must just be feeling a little uneasy, but I'm sure he'll warm up.
Cat hole. Don't worry. Your mama's never gonna know. She's far away. She's on vacation. What happens when your mama's on vacation?
I'm sorry, Mindy.
Between me and you, Mr. Mittens?
I'm a little uncomfortable with
We're gonna have a lot of fun, me and you.
I don't know that this is appropriate. For him to be.
Don't
no,
you try to get sassy with me.
No, this is not.
Can you describe what's happening? Can you walk us through what's happening on the screen?
You a sexy thing. You a sexy thing, Mr. Mittens. Don't make me angry.
me
make
before.
me
I don't
angry.
know about that.
And if you make me angry, I'm gonna get you.
What?
Make me get you. I will make you sad. I'm gonna get you. I have to get you. You get.
I can't even say the truth. I have to go home. I'm gonna have to catch another flight. This is awful. Oh.
Mindy,
Mr. Mrs. Hyde.
That was horrifying. Was that real?
I mean, I really don't know. It sounded real. It sounded real weird.
Why does this shit always happen when people call our show?
I guess this is. I mean, she mentioned Christmas. She mentioned that's why she's got these wonderful pet sitters.
She should get her ass home for Christmas. Holy shit!
She probably should. She probably should go home for Christmas. But that reminds me to remind all of you. Next week we've got a very special episode planned for you all. And that is going to be our annual Christmas special. We're going to have a really crazy episode. It's going to be the Rockin' Shockin' Christmas special. It's kind of a variety show. We're going to have a departure. This week, it's going to be great after this week. This week was a little bit of a serious episode. We had a lot of commentary. Well, next week, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have a bunch of silliness, a bunch of comedy, a bunch of bits, a bunch of characters, and we're just going to have a lot of fun with the holiday. So, what should we play the commercial for?
Yeah, please.
All right. So maybe that'll give us a little bit of a palate cleanser after that weird segment.
Yes, much needed.
This holiday season, join us for a holiday spectacular, reminiscent of those heartwarming Christmas specials that you all loved when you still believed in Santa Claus, and when he still believed in you. So on Tuesday, December 22nd, gather your family around the radio and treat your ears to a Christmas time variety show as the War on Morons presents Dirk Shocker's Rockin' Shockin' Christmas Special! That's right, bro! It's the real fucking metal! Come back to her straight from the North Pole of Hollywood! Starring me, Dirk Shocker from Shocker, performing all my most metal hits for my brand new holiday album, like Ho Ho Ho's, Yuletide Homicide, F*** You Santa, Too Many Bells, and I Wanna Get High for Christmas! Also featuring Llewellyn's Cage Kids Christmas Choir, Holiday Ghost Stories with the Spectre Inspector Squad, a Krampus summoning ritual with Professor Canterbury and Reverend Jeremiah, the Liberal Show's anti-Christmas protest, and celebrity sing-alongs with all of Dirk's most heaviest friends. There's never been a Christmas special quite like this, America, so don't miss out. Tune in this December exclusively on the War on Morons at HarmeanMediaGroup.podbean.com.
I'm really excited about that Christmas special.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun episode next week. So don't miss it next Tuesday on Hameen Media Group. Anyway, with all the hot button topics we've covered this week and, well, pretty much every other week, why not spend some time on a subject that, well, isn't controversial?
It's not really all the spirit of the show, but why not? What are you thinking?
All right, well, I'm thinking sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more specifically, celebrity boxing.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing. YouTuber Jake Paul, remember him?
Kinda.
Yeah, well, I guess you could say he manufactured memes all over the internet last month when he knocked former NBA dunk contest champ Nate Robinson the fuck out.
Damn.
Yeah, he just knocked him out.
Wait, is this guy an athlete?
Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Not really. I guess he, dabbled in boxing before he got into the YouTube thing.
Wow.
And then, Nate Robinson, he's like a short basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, they had a boxing match, and Jake Paul just knocked him out. It was great. But apparently, professional race baiter and former ESPN reporter Jemele Hill, she read a lot more into the knockout than everybody else in the world because she brought Paul onto her Vice TV show that apparently nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Vice TV.
Yeah, well, she asked him if winning the boxing match was racist.
Okay, I'm really lost here. Did he, come to the ring in a Klan hood or something? What the hell could be racist about winning a boxing match?
Okay, for one, it's boxing. It's not wrestling. Two, that would be a pretty bold gimmick. Could you imagine how
Bold?
AEW, I talk about a heel, coming to the ring.
Oh God!
The Grand Wizard.
Oh my God! Stop it! Don't give these wrestlers any ideas.
But no. He's just a white guy, and he boxed better than a black guy. It had nothing to do with race. But Jemele was just she's like, look, we got to talk about it. With everything going on in the country, don't you think that you're racist for knocking that man out?
You gotta give her points. She found the one way to get people to care about her stupid TV show.
Yeah.
I would have never known who she was or what she did before this.
Well, I'm pretty sure she got fired from ESPN for being racist.
Makes sense.
She kept I think she kept tweeting at Trump and calling him a Nazi and shit like that.
I mean, I just love the idea of I don't know, racism's bad, right? We can all agree on that. Racism's awful. But how is it racist to, be better than someone at something because you practiced harder or tried harder or just are more talented? I would kind of feel you wouldn't like it if someone just, what if every time we had an argument, I laid down and was like, you're right, I'm wrong, because... of your that would be so fucked up. Could you imagine
if in Jemele Hill's world, is that what should have happened? Are they supposed to go out there and line up for the match, and then and then Jake Paul just takes a dive?
Right.
Oh man, 400 years of oppression. I'm so sorry. Oh.
Anyways.
Oh my God.
While we're on the topic of things that aren't racist, an Ivy League university is mandating flu vaccination for white students while requiring an exception for students belonging to any other race.
That actually sounds like one of the most racist things I've heard all week.
Well, I would happen to agree with you there. Now, luckily for the Cornell student body, and of course, it's Cornell again. Of course. Anyway, only 35% of its student body is going to be forced to be vaccinated.
Wait, so most of the students at this elite university are minorities?
Well, I don't know that you can mathematically call them minorities because it seems like they're the majority.
Well, I'm not the one that's good at math. I didn't go to Cornell.
Well, neither did I, but it doesn't take a genius.
Hey, it doesn't make sense to me, but apparently it makes perfect sense to them.
85% of the faculty is white, though, so,
This is all numbers, statistics, What do I know? Jeez. Anyway, funny you should mention that about the faculty. It's actually a perfect segue to this next story.
Oh no!
A school district in San Diego held white privilege training for teachers, in which they were told that you are racist,
right,
and asked to commit to becoming anti-racist in the classroom.
Good.
The San Diego...
Because that's one thing that I experienced growing up and going to, different types of schools. I mean, I went to public school, private school, Montessori school, all kinds of schools. And that's the one thing that I saw happen blatantly in the classroom across, all schools, really, was, children being singled out for their race. Good. It's good that they're taking a stance against this thing that definitely happens all the time.
Right. Like, that... It seems like there's a lot of other things that teachers in this country need to focus on, other than this fucking problem that does not exist anymore. But the San Diego Unified School District begins their sessions with instructors telling the faculty members that they are going to experience guilt, anger, apathy, closed mindfulness, or closed-mindedness, whatever the fuck, because of their white fragility.
White fragility?
I don't know if is this a course that only, do they segregate out all the white teachers and make them take the course by themselves? How do they make that determination? What if somebody's mixed race? What if somebody, the other day we had a story about how they don't consider Asian people to not be white anymore? How do they even make that determination?
Half the time you can't even tell if someone's white or not. We've become, as a society, luckily, lots of people are, making babies with people that don't look like them, and that's a good thing. And so now we have all these ethnically ambiguous people walking around. There's been multiple people I've met that I was surprised that they, happen to be of, Hispanic descent or black descent.
They need to go to a class and learn that they're racist white supremacists, apparently. But that's what we're learning here, and it's crazy. But yeah, they're learning about land acknowledgement. They're being told to accept that the United States was established on stolen Native American land. I bet some of them are Native American themselves. For fuck's sake.
Honestly, I don't know. It was founded on stolen Native American land. It was, and
it's called. It's called.
When are we going to talk about what Genghis Khan did?
What are we going to talk about? What the different tribes did to each other?
There's a lot of countries that were founded by conquering. Italy didn't, exactly have a non-conquerous history. We don't see them laying themselves down on, I just don't get it. But, I don't understand why the anti-racist stuff that they pull is always the most racist stuff I've ever heard. Always.
It's crazy. At the end of that, you just alluded to it. We're all just one, we're all one human race. That sounds it sounds all spacey, but we're all one human race.
We are. We're also a comedy podcast, so work on a better punchline next time. But yeah, it is true. Yeah. It is true. And that's probably why aliens don't want anything to do with us.
Well, what? Aliens?
Right. The aliens.
What the fuck?
That's another segue to our story of our last story of the night. The aliens. They don't.
All right.
It's probably our most sensational story of the year, to be honest. I'm surprised it's not getting more coverage.
Could the year end any other way? Fucking aliens.
Aliens, exactly. Now, according to Haim Eshed, the retired head of Israel's space program, UFOs are real. Aliens exist. There's something called a galactic federation. And they're basically leaving us on red, for lack of a better term.
Can you blame them? They've probably seen our cable news lately.
I swear. We actually got a voicemail that could possibly give us a little bit of insight onto this whole thing. Should I pull it up?
Fuck it, why not? I was going to say, let's get more into this. This is a pretty mind-blowing revelation.
It is.
The head of the Israel space program telling us the aliens are real, but they don't fucking want to talk to us, basically?
I knew something was up when Donald Trump created the Space Force. Come on, that's
he
not...
created the Space Force, but then they were like, "Nah, never mind, bro. Like, we don't, you stay at home." No, like we're going somewhere, but no, you're not invited. You guys
You're not
aren't cool.
invited. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, like, we're basically being rejected by the aliens. Like, they're basically, like, looking at us like if an amoeba wanted to come hang out with you. Like, you'd be like, no, amoeba, like, you're too unevolved. Like, you just stay down there for a couple more millennia and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're not invited to the alien. I don't want to be invited to the alien party. I don't like aliens.
No, they freak me out.
No. But anyway,
I wouldn't be hostile to them. I just,
I would if I thought I could win.
That's the stupidest thing. Please don't give the aliens any idea that we're hostile. They're clearly out there. We just want to be left alone.
Well, I want to make sure continue to be left alone, which is why you mentioned the voicemail. Maybe this will
clear it up.
Show.
All right, let's try it.
Let's see what they have to say.
You have one new message.
Hey guys, I'm calling because I don't know if you heard, but the Israeli government or something, they were like totally talking about how the aliens are like, I don't know, they're like blowing us off or something, and I just wanted to get the word out. I'm calling like all the radio stations and like podcasts and like everything just to try to get the word out about, my group. My name is Laura, and me and my group, we've been a fan of the aliens for like a really long time. We've known that they're out there, like their energy is just so amazing, and like I have felt their presence for years, and like I know that they're out there and they have communicate with us, but like I wanted to put the message out. We're like totally trying to show the aliens we're trying to raise our earthly vibration enough to where the aliens will see that like we can, at least some of us can like finally be trusted to like make a connection and build a relationship. Like we want to be the ones to like really build that bridge, and like, anyways, we're having a group together. We're doing a meetup in the desert. It's going to be super rad. Bring good vibes, bring good energy, bring, drums or musical instruments if you have them, because we're going to be calling to the aliens and we're going to be like loving the aliens and just raising our spirit up and, sending the message that like we're here and we're ready to connect and like, the rest of Earth, they might have to, they may not be as evolved as us. They may not be energetic. They may not have done the energy work. But we're ready and we love the aliens. And, we hope you guys will all join us. We hope that like it'll be a magical time and we'll get to finally, meet the aliens and learn from them. And yeah, like just, maybe do some super cool space drugs and like learn what that's all about. Okay, well anyways, thanks for listening. See you guys in the desert next Saturday. Bye.
You know what? If there are aliens out there, and if for some reason you're one of the people that's listening to this show, or one of the beings that's listening to this show, if you're going to abduct anybody, start with people like that. And continue to leave us alone.
Please. Hey, looks like we're getting a call.
Of course we are. 702 area code.
Oh, man. Do you think we have time to pick it up?
Why not?
All right.
Why not?
All right. Area code 702, you're on with the War on Morons. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, man, it's Bob Baker in Henderson, Nevada.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, my social security number.
Oh, please, God, no. Don't. We don't need that. We don't need that.
I've been trying to give it to you so I can be properly registered.
No, I don't want to know your social. Nobody needs to know your social. Keep that to yourself.
All right, I want you guys to know I do trust you, man, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All All right. Anyway, I want to call in, like, just because I heard that crazy shit you were talking about, man, and that caller, dude.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Aliens, man, right?
I mean, I gotta tell you, you're not gonna believe this, dude, but I used to believe in aliens.
Shocking.
Yeah, man. Like, I used to think that there was like a secret government, like, conspiracy, man, and like there was aliens and Roswell and like Area 51 and scientists and all of this, like, UFOs and everything about the aliens. I really believed it, man. And that was before I figured it out. Like, they wouldn't lie to us. Like, that's just stupid talk, man. I don't know what that chick was smoking, but it was probably some really good shit, man. It's probably laced with something, like drug test, am I right?
I don't know, Bob. It sounds like you might have been onto something. I mean, you know, it sounds like the aliens are out there. They just...
No, man. I can tell you what's going on. Like, I mean, it's not really a conspiracy if you know what's happening. And like, if you go on, I mean, this isn't even on Above Top Secret. I found this on the dark web, dude. Like, I found, like, all right, so you know Donald Marshall is, right?
No, is that Eminem?
No, man, that's Eminem. No, man, I'm talking about Candy, bro. Like, so it's not aliens, man. Like, so they're underground. And there's cloning centers. They're like cloning people, and I think they're like midgets or something. They're like fucked up clones that they made of people that didn't work right, and it's all on the Megadeth album, dude. The Donald Marshall, he secretly wrote all the Megadeth lyrics, like Hangar 18. Remember that one back in the 80s? Like, you know, he was singing about like Hangar 18, where the base where they had the, you know, he sings about the aliens, but it's really the clones.
Okay, you know, Don, I gotta say, Bob, you're really losing me here. I mean, this sounds like much more of a conspiracy than aliens. I would be much more willing to believe in aliens than I would this.
No, it's not a conspiracy if it's true, and it's not aliens if it's clones that are actually midgets that are covered in chicken skin to look like an alien. So they peel up. Yeah, they peel the chicken skin off. They don't cook it or nothing, so it can have that, like, prickly look to it.
Oh, God! What the hell are you talking about, Bob?
Chicken skin covered midgets.
You know...
What?
This show has been really weird, and I don't know if I can handle chicken skin midgets right now.
No, man, look, possibly I've seen too much Hangar 18. No too much. And then it's something about a rotisserie chicken.
Okay.
I couldn't.
You know, Bob, I'm sorry, but, you know, this is too weird. Too weird for me. I can believe in aliens.
Well, no, I can make the connection, because, like, have you ever heard of this place called Boston Market?
Yes?
Yeah, they cook rotisserie chicken there, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, and then remember that band Boston?
Sure.
Remember what was on their album covers, like all their album covers?
I don't know. I'm not that big of a Boston fan.
UFOs. So what they were saying is that aliens are actually just chicken skins, because everybody knows that the chicken skin's the most delicious part of the rotisserie chicken. But it's really...
God, Bob, I gotta say...
Yeah.
You know, you just keep hanging out there in your bunker in Nevada and keep smoking what you're smoking, dude. But I can't take any more of this conspiracy stuff.
I'm just smoking the truth, bro.
All right. Good for you.
And I just want everybody to know that chick was crazy, and don't believe in UFOs, because that's stupid.
Okay. Cool. No
all right.
UFO
Merry Christmas, everybody.
That guy is exhausting. I knew aliens were a spicy topic when I slipped this one in at the end, but I wasn't expecting that.
You can't. You can't bring up aliens and not expect that you're not going to hear from that dude.
True. I should have known.
Anyway, we've gone on long enough. This has been an interesting episode, to say the least.
Yes, it has.
Next week, see you guys for the Christmas special. And then I think we're going to have Vinny and Ray handle business after that. And we'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Yeah, have fun out, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Brother, you better get down on your knees and pay $1,000.